What's up, guys? It's your boy Blackrue back with another video. You can catch me on. Before we start, let's cue Indigo Saint here. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Blackrue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer?
Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifesting, so we binge on our Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that Blackrue Investing. Best believe it was Blackrue Investing.
My man Indigo. Like I was saying, you can catch me on the Gentleman of Crypto YouTube. You can catch me on the Benzinga YouTube. Right in the description there, you'll see the times where I'm on those very cool shows. But today, we're talking Chainlink versus Quant, both LCX partners. And if we come over here, one of the viewers here, I really want to see a good Link versus Quant video, with Link being adopted by thousands of platforms / cryptos. Can Link do the same legacy, non-legacy interoperability that Quant does? All right, guys. So your boy did his research, and what I did, and thanks to Equilibrium for asking for this, suggesting this, and watching. But yeah, let's come over here, and what I found here is a little thing put together by Quant's head of innovation, Dr. Luke Riley, where they get into the nitty-gritty of interoperability. They actually give 3 interoperability categories that are defined by the World Economic Forum. So, World Economic Forum showing up again here. Cross authentication, oracles, and API gateways. So we're going to get into these, all right? I'm going to read what they actually tell you about them, and then I'm going to actually explain them in a more simplified manner. But the biggest thing for you guys to take away, cross authentication is kind of basically what like a big network like Ethereum or Polkadot does. Oracles are Chainlink, all right? And the API gateway is Quant, and it's over ledger technology, okay? And we're going to explain all of these, okay? Let's go down to the bottom here. Now, what they end up using as examples for cross authentication are Polkadot and Ethereum 2.0. And I believe that they're different networks because Polkadot is built on Substrate, which is layer 0, and Ethereum is a layer 1 technology. So if you're built on top of Polkadot, you essentially become your own layer 1, which makes it easier for you to communicate to other layer 1s, including Ethereum. But for the sake of their example, let's assume Polkadot and Ethereum are the same kind of deals. Okay, so this interoperability category, and we're talking about cross authentication right now. This one is the most decentralized, and this is written in London, so they're using S's when they should use Z's, and it bothers me. But I'm just gonna read. I'm just gonna keep reading. Okay, y'all. This interoperability category is the most decentralized of the 3 categories. It requires separate authorization on each side of the interoperability connection. So a kind of short example of this one-way type of deal is TCP IP connection. For anybody who's like a programmer out there, there's a certain messaging when you're sending like a message across a port, and like with computer programming, called TCP, in which you send the message and then that other side of the port acknowledges that it got the message. There's another type of kind of messaging called UDP, in which you just send it and there's no acknowledgement back. But in this case, with this cross authentication, you actually require separate authorizations on both sides. Okay, so for for example, this is hash locking used to atomically swap assets across distributed ledgers. Okay, and then we have the DLT relayers. These are distributed ledger communication protocols that act as a layer between other distributed ledgers. They are designed for the exchange of different types of messages between these networks. Two distributed ledger technology relayer examples are Polkadot and Ethereum. Now, these are different examples, like I said, because Polkadot is layer 0 substrate technology. Um, so I think in the end it breaks down a little different, but they're kind of the layer between other distributed layers. So, for example, I can't think of like Moonbeam. Moonbeam's built on Polkadot, and there's other things I can't think of any other Polkadot project off the top of my head. But if Moonbeam was trying to communicate to another Polkadot project, they got that distributed. They got the layer of Polkadot in between them, so they're gonna deal with the interoperability there. Okay. Now the second way is oracles. Now this is a chain link. Okay. And the way I think of oracles is more like a proxy, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Oracles allow distributed ledgers to connect to external data resources, which may be another distributed ledger. Okay. So external data resources. They allow them to do that. Oracles are therefore orchestration layers connected to different resources which perform various actions according to on-chain and off-chain predefined bespoke rules. So they're orchestration layer, and I like to think of them as like almost like a proxy layer. So they're a layer between what's outside of the blockchain communicating to something inside of the blockchain. So they kind of act like a proxy, or more like, I guess you could say, like a mediator between those two things. But they're a trusted mediator called an oracle, right? So they're saying, okay, we know this data that we got from outside the blockchain is legit. So since you're getting it from us and you know we're a trusted oracle, then you know it's legit data. It's not going to infect you, give you a virus, or it's bad data. Okay? Some oracles may not only pass information from an external data resource, so outside of the blockchain, to smart contracts inside of the blockchain, but they may also send data from the distributed ledger from the blockchain back outside to the external sources. There's usually a single oracle to perform each task, but occasionally there can be a collection of oracles performing the same task in a permissioned or permissionless manner. Smart contract logic states that how the consistency of the data is achieved between multiple inputs recorded by different oracles. An example of an oracle system is Chainlink. Now we have just an API gateway, and this is the overledger technology. So API gateway, they should have put that word there. An API gateway provides access to a server and resources is connected to. And for anyone that doesn't know what an API is, I'll explain that shortly right now. An API, it stands for Application Program Interface. And as a programmer, like, we create different APIs, and the easiest way to think of an API is if we were creating some type of player, right? Some type of like video player or music player, right? So we want the audio to do like the four things. We want it to play, we want it to fast forward, we want it to rewind, we want it to pause. I'm going to give you 3 functions using my program that do that. Or I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm going to give you 4 functions using my program: play, rewind, fast forward, pause. I'm going to give you 4 functions that do that, and you don't care what's underneath it. You don't care what code I used or however I did it to make it do that, but now it's going to play, rewind, fast forward, and pause whenever you call the specified function. That's what an API is. It's like, okay, so I made your work easier by giving you 4 functions. You can call them and use them any way you like. Okay? So this API, this gateway is going to provide access to a server. So you can see here that it's more centralized. A server is like something in the background. Like we have tons of different servers that we use, like a Google search engine, right? We go online and we search, what is an API? What is Quant? We go onto Google and search that. We type it in, we press enter, it goes to their server, looks on that search engine, and returns us back the answer, right? So this is going to be a centralized quant server that's going to use, and you're going to be like something on Quant's overledger, and you're going to go to that gateway and ask certain questions. An API gateway provides organized access to many underlying API resources, just like I was saying with the pause, rewind, fast forward, and play, simplifying results to the underlying resources to improve user experience, just like we just said. A DLT API gateway can have shared endpoints, again, so it can have shared endpoints like a server or another distributed ledger network across distributed ledger networks, standardized distributed ledger data objects, just like, okay, like kind of what I said there with the pause, play, and whatnot. Those are APIs, and you can have a data object that gives you certain API like simple functions, like I just said. That data object would be, say, audio. So audio, you got that data object audio that when you call play, fast forward, rewind, and whatever, play, fast forward, rewind, and pause is going to do that. You might have another data object called like video that does the exact same thing but with video. So that's how that works. And you can compress many DLT actions into one endpoint. A leading example is Quant's Overledger API. So we have a little cheat sheet down here, and it says proven tech. That this is not proven tech in interoperating between the DLT relayers. However, in terms of other distributed ledger networks to distributed ledger networks, oracles are not proven technology according to them, but API gateway is. Can you combine different technologies? No, you can't do that. If you're on the Polkadot network, you're just on the Polkadot network. You may not be able to communicate to Ethereum, even though Polkadot, because you're on layer 0 technology, you're on substrate. When you become a layer 1, you kind of can communicate different technologies. So it's not exactly true. It's only true of layer 1s like Ethereum, where you're on Ethereum. That doesn't mean you can necessarily communicate to other technologies. That's not exactly true when it comes to layer 0. So this is a little off. But anyway, oracles, yes, you can. And API gateways, yes, you can. So they got some other stuff over here. Decentralization, dependent on network permissions, dependent on this. Access controlled by API gateway operators. So they're not as decentralized with this because they have this API gateway operator, this one centralized thing. So they're not really decentralized, but they didn't make it yes or no. I like how they kind of fudged that. How users interact. Direct through the node or the gateway, connect to the gateway, connect to Oracle on-chain or off-chain elements. So basically, answering my man's question, it seems like, yes, they have the capability of having the same capability here. It seems like Chainlink is working on having cross-chain applications protocol. But what I really think is going to come to down, in the end, is that Chainlink's going to be for crypto projects to interoperate, whereas Quant is going to be for CBDC operation for like financial institutions and DeFi cryptos to interoperate using a CBDC. And the reason I think that is because of this whole Quant LCX partnership here, right? Quant uses LCX to partner to enable digital ledger technology interoperability. Quant and crypto asset pioneer LCX partnership will further accelerate the progression towards central bank digital currencies. So I think Chainlink's focus is going to be more on interoperating between different blockchains, like say a Polkadot, Ethereum, or a Cardano, whereas Quant is going to be like, okay, I need to do central bank digital currencies for Australia, China, Britain, and the US, if that makes sense. So I think their focuses are just going to be different. That's all. So, yeah, come on over here to the channel, guys. Like and subscribe. It is darkhorsewatcher.com, or you can simply just Google my name. But the easiest way is darkhorsewatcher.com. That will lead you straight directly to my YouTube, and that's Dark Horse, like a dark horse pick. And also come over and check me out on Rokfin. We do more esoteric type of deals over here, more esoteric talk like Saturn worship, carbon credits, bots. We do more of that type of talk over here on Rokfin. So thank you guys so much for listening. Check out some of my previous videos over here. And again, thank you guys for listening. Have a good one, guys. Peace.